Hey guys, welcome to another episode of WOD TV. Here, Lucas Parker here is my co-host, little Hank, I think his name is, and we're doing a little special series during the CrossFit Open, where I figured to give you guys a little advantage going in the workouts if you're doing them on the weekend. Basically, I'm going to try and get them in Thursday night as soon as possible, and let you guys know some strategies and how the workouts affected me. So as you can see, I'm a little bit out of breath. There is rest programmed into this workout, right? It's a 3-minute interval, adding pull-ups and overhead squats each round. The first couple rounds fairly easy, and then it really catches up with you towards the end if you get a few rounds in. Of course, every athlete's going to be different, but 15.2 for me, similar limiting factor to 15.1, which is just sort of your grip or your ability to hang onto the bar and keep doing work. The overhead squats for an experienced athlete are fairly negligible weight. They only really serve to tire out the shoulders, which of course you're going to need to do powerful kipping pull-ups. So it's fairly upper body intensive. Definitely a limiting agent in those shoulders for myself anyways. I definitely did tear my hands up moderately. My tip would be to, if your grip is a weak factor, my tip would be to put tape on the pull-up bar and your hands, or use gymnastics grips just to get as much grip and friction as possible. So for those first few rounds or first few sets, or however far you get into it, you can stay fairly relaxed in the forearms. My second tip is, break them up early. You see Michelle and Emily in the open announcement doing small sets right off the bat. So they're the best in the world. Probably best to follow their lead. You can sort of look at this workout and say, well, I'm going to put a limiter and say, I'm never going to do more than 4 or 5 or 6 pull-ups in a row. And if you look at the whole span of the workout, a lot of people can say, oh, okay, I can always do, a handful of reps. So if you want to save yourself, it's definitely a good idea to not come out of the bat and say, oh, well, I want to prove something to myself, so I'm going to go for, my sets of 10 pull-ups unbroken. Because although you may finish that round 10, 20 seconds faster, that fatigue is going to stay with you through the workout, and that extra 10 to 20 seconds of rest is not going to make up for that. Next piece of advice, I guess, would be to have somewhere to sit down. This type of workout is structured in a very strategic way, which can sort of bug some people, but it can also give you a lot of room to play around with all the tricky tactics and strategies. One of which would be to plunk your butt down as soon as you can. Just unloading your legs, being in a seated, folded up posture has been shown to improve recovery in short-term rest periods. So you can take advantage of that if you have a spare plyo box or a weight bench sitting around. And then for me, I couldn't really, if you see in the first few rounds, my chest to bar pull-ups probably looked pretty smooth. I felt like I had a nice kip. I was kind of floating up to the bar. And then sort of through the middle rounds, I got a little more sort of jerky in my kip. Felt kind of disjointed, like I was kind of losing connection. And for me, that connection was probably a little bit of hip and core fatigue, as well as grip fatigue, not being able to transfer that power to the bar. And then towards the end of my workout, you can see I'm going down to singles. My grip is just fried. My shoulders are all pumped up, so I'm having trouble opening up my chest to the bar. And I guess that's where the workout ends because you run out of time. So a small tip for that, and for just general pull-up practice, especially for chest to bar, you can try to widen your grip by a couple inches. Similar concept to like a snatch or an overhead squat. It's a lot easier to snatch a barbell with a wide grip because you have space for your shoulders to pass through. Imagine trying to do a snatch with your hands close together. It's really hard. So trying to do butterfly pull-ups, chest to bar pull-ups, where you need to open your shoulders up, a lot more challenging if your grip is too narrow. Especially for female athletes who tend to get stuck sort of right here in their kip. You can open up the grip a bit, get the shoulders back, and there's your chest to the bar right there. So those are, I guess, my tips for 15.2. And words of warning: just do everything you can to, protect your hands and then push through if and when they do rip. Tape on the bar, tape on your hands, gymnastics grips, whatever you got to do. I was lucky enough to have a spare bar that was a little bit lower, so I could go down to doing easier singles. So if you can do that, that might get you a few more reps. So cheers, have fun with this one. Enjoy the first round or so, and then dig in through the finish. Good luck, guys.